When Huang Longshi was young, they would call him Longshi the Prodigy instead of using his actual name. And like many other prodigies, like many other great players, he would hardly ever have to really fight, really try hard to win a game. He didn't have any rivals. But there was one player, his name was Zhou Dongho, who, even though he wasn't really a rival, but his style of playing was really unorthodox, and Huang Longshi really liked the way he responded to his moves. They played many games together, and they once played a series of games that we now call 30 games in Paradise Garden. 25 of those games still survive to this day, and I will show you 2 of those games today. In this first game, Huang Longshi is playing black, and Zhou Dongho is white. Black responds like this, and immediately white invades. This is exactly what I meant when I said he had an original style. White invades like this, and this move threatens a connection, and white can also jump out and jump into the corner. Today we value the corner so much that we would probably immediately take the corner like this and allow white to simply connect, if he wants to. Connecting on the second line is no big deal in the opening. But in that game, Huang Longshi played like this, not allowing a connection and not allowing white to jump out. So the only way for white to go is jump into the corner. Black blocks, and instead of trying to connect here and make a small life in the corner, white escapes like this. Now, black has to take the corner. And white makes life here. Now, black could simply play something like this, and this is what we would probably play today. And then white would respond to this, and black would invade and try to use this influence. But black thinks that this is not enough influence, because this is exactly what Huang Longshi was really good at. He loved to play for influence, and he would hardly ever take territory just like this. He would take a lot of strong walls, he would build a lot of influence, and he would attack his opponent and gain territory while he's attacking. So instead of this, Huang Longshi pushes. And pushes again. So he's pushing his opponent to take territory along the 4th line. Naturally, white is happy to do that. And again, and we remember that taking territory along the 4th line is usually good enough. And if your opponent offers you to take it, just take it without much thinking. But in this game, Zhou Dongho wants to take even more than that. So instead of calmly responding like this, he plays a hane. He wants to take more territory. Now, the 5th line, black cuts. White needs to make shape. Otherwise, if white just extends, this would be sente, another descent also sente, and then black jumps, and it's a fight. So, white makes shape. And here, Huang Longshi could definitely go for a fight. He could extend like this, and this could be it. But in this case, of course, white would extend. And now black needs to take care of these stones, and this whole position is a little thin. So instead of this, Huang Longshi builds more influence. And more influence. And more. And it's clearly a matter of style, and also a matter of strength, because if I'm playing this game as black now, I would think that I'm clearly losing. White has too much territory at the bottom, and black has a wall which he may or may not be able to use in the future. But Huang Longshi is way stronger, and this is exactly what he's good at. He's good at using walls like this. So now black approaches the corner, and he's hoping to attack this stone, and this stone he thinks is probably already dead. Of course, with this approach, black is aiming to use his influence, and Zhou Dongho is not a weakling. Of course, he knows that if he simply responds like this, and he allows black to jump, then this turns into a huge black moyo, and it will be very difficult to do something about this. Of course, white would have to fight and try to live here, escape from here. But instead of this, white decides to attack right away. White peeps, and after black connects, another peep like this, ruining black's shape. And now he connects all the stones like this with a knight's move. Now, here AI actually suggests that black can cut like this and try to start a fight. But the way I look at it, I think Huang Longshi doesn't pick this option because white can choose not to fight here. So for example, if black cuts and if white extends, then this could become a fight where black could use his influence. But if white simply takes a stone like this, then black would probably be forced to connect, allow white to capture, and connect along the second line with this stone. And this doesn't really look like using influence very much. White is now too strong, and of course now you can't attack white. So he played differently. Instead of cutting right away, he jumps first. He doesn't believe in this danger. Since black tenuki'd, now white needs to try and punish. White pulls up the stone, and this looks dangerous for black. These stones look almost dead. And yet, Huang Longshi cuts first. Now, white descends, and again, these three stones are trapped. The next move that black played looks quite extraordinary. This move will help these three stones and save them. Can you guess where Huang Longshi played next? Black plays here next, and this looks like a terrible shape, but this move creates mi'ai between pushing outside at A and connecting to the black stones at B. White needs to connect here. Black pushes. And the sequence that follows, black will manage to save these stones, but we have to make it absolutely clear that Huang Longshi probably read this whole sequence out before he played here. Otherwise, if he played here bravely and then he would have died here, this would make no sense. So obviously he knew he wasn't going to die here. He would pull these stones out and he would be able to attack white later. White blocks. Now black can extend here, and this threatens a ladder. So white needs to defend. Now this. And this is a forced sequence. It seems like white can escape like this. Push here once. Push again. Again. White tries to escape. Now this. Atari. And black and Atari here. White connects. And black descends here. And this is a double demezumari, a double shortage of liberties. Or as they say in China, the golden chicken standing on one leg. White cannot approach from here, and white cannot approach from the other side. So these three stones are dead. All of these stones, the black stones, are safe. This whole sequence is a fascinating example of Huang Longshi's reading ability. White captures, black makes this exchange, and after white connects here, black finally captures these three stones. And even though the sequence on the left seems to be absolutely not of this world, but the overall result seems to favor white. White made a lot of points at the bottom, and black's influence, which used to be influence, is now a wall, which is not really a very strong wall. White can now play something like this to attack, and black would be forced to escape. In the game, white actually played here. At this point, Huang Longshi probably realized that he was behind in this game, so he had to step up on the gas, and what followed here was an insanely difficult fight. The game was very long, and I'll just show you the end of it. And now, after a whole game of fighting, white still has this territory that he got at the very beginning, and he has some other territories here and there, and this upper left corner was supposed to be white's big territory, but it's become Seki. In the fight, Huang Longshi got the center, and he killed some stones here. So Huang Longshi won this game by a couple of points. And the second game that I wanted to show you is another game that he played against Zhou Dongho, and it's another example of Huang Longshi's brilliant use of influence. In the second game, Huang Longshi plays white, and again they play this old style of opening, which looks so unusual today. White approaches. Again, defending the corner with a large knight's move, which was so popular. And white invades immediately. Another defense. White attacks. Both players keep attacking everything. Now white responds. White makes a base on the top. Black attacks these stones. Again, this popular Hane and connection. Black invades. This again defends the corner and attacks the black stone. And another invasion. It was a common opening formula in those days. They would create a lot of weaknesses, a lot of separate groups everywhere on the board. And the fight would begin after this. And whoever manages his stones better, whoever manages to connect his stones better in groups, will probably win the game. Now, all the major opening points have been taken. White has stones in 6 places. Now the fight has to begin.
By the way, you can also watch these lessons on our platform, gomagic.org. Except there, you'll watch them with interactive quizzes right within the lessons and practical exercises right after them. And if you enjoy watching these Go videos and you don't want to miss others like this one, go smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and this is Go Magic.